Hi there, I am Kathy Crow here at the Crow Cottage. Thank you for joining me. You have a new view because I've moved my camera over to the other side of my desk, and we'll see how that works out. I was hoping it would make my transition down easier for the camera to live with, because it doesn't it doesn't live with anything all that easily. Apparently it makes it tough. So anyhow, it is so nice. Happy almost 4th of July. Can you believe it? I wonder what your 4th of July is going to be like. I know ours is probably going to be pretty noisy. It's been, actually here, it's quieter than it was back in the Tri-Cities. They really let people, kind of go for it for a month. I think we get a month in Washington State. I could be wrong. Here I saw for actually Springfield rules are no fireworks. I was surprised by that because there's actually quite a lot of fireworks going on. Now it is only 1 o'clock. Good. But I don't hear it at night. I don't hear it all the time like I did in Washington State. So I think the window is really small. I don't even think it's a week. I think you only get a few days. But because the 4th of July is a Tuesday this year, I think people are fudging it. We've heard, like, for the last couple of nights, fireworks, and I was kind of surprised because we haven't. Last night, it was pretty late, and they were still doing, but that was okay. We went and did our, to Marionville. It is such a cute little town, and we had a great experience watching fireworks. That was so much fun. So I hope that you have a safe and happy 4th of July. Tomorrow is the day. I know Jeff and I are going to go out and eat today. So he said a few weeks ago he wanted steak. We haven't had steak in a long time, so we're going to splurge on some steak. All right, I am going to try. My glasses are so dirty. I hope I can see through them. I'll just take them off. Anyway, usually I put them on and take them off, put them on, take them off as I go. I am going to do, actually, the stamp set I'm going to use is Good Feelings. This is one, let me see if it's reading correctly. Oh, good, it is. This is one that has really big sentiments on it. It's a current one. I have it down here if you want to buy it. For anybody who spends $50 or more with me, I will send you cards, 10 cards, and less than that, you'll get fewer cards. It costs me almost $10 just to send 10 cards. I'm not kidding. I'm sorry. That's just life right now. And so if you're here in the Springfield area and you're close to me and I don't have to mail it, that's works better for me. Otherwise, you have to spend $50 with me to really get almost anything. That is, again, just the way it is. I think I'm going to have to raise that up. The last time I went to the post office and got their cheapest mailing envelope, it was way over even the $10 just because of the weight I have added in. It is supposed to be $8.95, right? It's a flat rate. Okay, so Good Feelings has a lot of really nice sentiments, and they're big, so you don't need to add really a lot of anything to it, and that's why I'm using it, because today I'm going to do a nice little card file box that you can put cards in, and I think it's big enough. I don't know. It's been a while since I've made this project, so we'll just kind of figure it out as we go. I'm going to put the camera down. And, oh, I keep forgetting, the camera is on the other side of my, of where I've got it now. So anyway, I can't see a thing. I can't see anything. I don't know what I'm showing you. Oh, it actually looks like it miraculously came on there pretty good. I think my new configuration is going to help because I just needed to square it up. It just kept not squaring anything up all that well. I guess it can go over a little more. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, so I've got my host code. If you order, again, if you order $50 or more, I appreciate you using the host code. Even if you order just $10 worth of stuff, please use the host code. And then I can send you things. Otherwise, I can't. If your order is because I don't make any money on it. I just don't make any money on it. If you, spend $150 or more though on anything, then please don't use the host code. Just order as my customer, and then you will get more rewards for having done so, because that is the cutoff date for getting your $15 free stamp set right there as you're doing it. So don't use the host code if you are buying it. And please, if you're buying anything that's even close to getting to 100, please, for your sake, go up to the $150 of product. That means product, not total. The total is adding shipping and tax. So go up to your $150 total, and then you get $15 free product for doing that. So if you ever are spending $110, $120, or anything close to that, and not going up to the $150, you are just throwing $15 away. Now, right now, there are a couple of specials as I'm kind of looking here to see what they are. I'm seeing that we have free shipping coming up on June 21. You don't want to miss that. And we are gonna start in 3 days, because July 6th, bonus days begins. I haven't even advertised that because I just haven't, I've been vacationing somewhat here and there. And July 6th, though, bonus days, that just means that you get to have $5 sent back to you in a coupon in your email for every $50 you spend in July, from July 6th to the 31st. Is there 31 days in July? I'm not even sure. But anyway, you will be able to spend those coupons in August. So today I'm using the DSP. Hi, Andy. It's nice to see. I see you are with me. It's so nice to see you and actually notice that you're there. That's wonderful. I just barely saw you, and it went away already on the thing that I'm actually monitoring stuff. So it's not doing a very good job of monitoring. It went away again. So I can't keep, it's not staying on like it's supposed to. Okay, now that actually makes me feel better, so that it's not just me. It's that stupid old Facebook. All right, I am using Masterfully made papers, and I have to confess the reason I am is because I don't like it very well. And if you ever get stuck with DSP, which we do, right? Because you look in the catalog like I do. I've got my catalog handy. When I'm getting ready to order stuff, I'm just like a kid in a candy shop looking at all the goodies. And then you get back here to the page where the designer series paper is, somewhere in here. And I've already ordered so much, but I know I need some paper. And I'm looking at all of that paper, and it's in such little tiny pieces. And I'm just thinking, well, oh, that looks kind of cute, and that looks sort of cute, and I really like the color of that sheet. And I order stuff, and sometimes I didn't look at it very carefully. I don't even realize it's 6 by 6 instead of 12 by 12 or whatever. And then I'm unhappy with it because there isn't enough of it that I like. It doesn't mean that other people don't like it. I'm sure other people have loved this paper. But for me, to be perfectly frank, I have only liked this sheet. I love. It's almost worth buying the packet just for this sheet. And you get this sheet and you get this sheet. And they're both equally beautiful, and I do love them. Both sides, in fact, which is the irony, because I do not like both sides of any of the other ones. In fact, I don't really like any of the other ones. So when you get stuff with DSP that you don't really care for all that much, there are ways to use it. Sometimes I use it into line envelopes, because then, much of the paper you don't like, you can kind of tuck underneath where it's hidden in the flap of the envelope, and then the part you like sticks up on the flap. That's one way you can use up DSP you don't like. You can use it on gift bags, sometimes the inside of a gift bag. So the outside is the color and the shape and the design that you like, and you can have a matching color inside of one possibly you don't like quite as much. And it matches the color, so it looks okay. So these are just some ways that you use up your designer series paper. This is a big 12 by 12, so I could do bags and all of that. But instead, I've decided I am going to use it to do a card holder for you guys. Oh, thank you, Andy. My nails. Yes, I have very patriotic nails. Color Street had a sale, like buy one, get one. Oh my goodness. And so I actually am going to be wearing 4th of July nails, I think, for a whole month. Like I usually miss out on their fancy designs, but I thought that was a great sale. So I took advantage of it. And and they're lasting a long time. Actually, they have this set is kind of nice because it's the lighter blue and it's kind of faded, like faded jeans, and it's nice. So thank you. I appreciate your noticing it. So back to the important stuff. Yeah, and I'm glad. I think a lot of us agree with this DSP. But you might have got it, and again, I am gonna just say it's almost worth it for this sheet alone. This one is absolutely beautiful. But anyhow, I'm gonna start with our dimensions, and let's hope I can get it all together here because I've kind of got a mishmash of stuff. This is from a cut pattern that I did with my machine, and so I'm gonna cut it in a way that shows you how you can do it. But that's why I've got all these extra pieces here, is because I'm taking it from my original, which I cut on my machine. I've cut a few pieces already just to get us a head start because I didn't want this to take terribly, terribly long. Okay, see you later, Andy. Have fun. You're gonna start with a sheet now I know the dimensions are going to be a little bit off, but you can manage. I'm going to pull out my little handy dandy fancy ruler. I went online and found a ruler that would show me. I know what the dimensions are, okay? I know you're going to say it's simple math, and it is, because they never change. It's like when you had to write out when you were in first grade and you had to write out how many pennies it took to get to 10 cents and how many 10 cents it took to, etc. We're on base 10. So it is easy. The dimensions never change. It's 1/8 and 1/4 and then 3/8 and a half and then 5/8 and then 3/4 and then 7/8 and 1, and then there are all these 16ths in between those eighths, and they go in progression just like I said, and it's not brain surgery. But why can't my brain retain it? I don't know. So because I get confused with all the numbers, I'm not a math person, so I got this ruler just to help me. So our dimensions are 10 and 11/16. Oh my. So we're going to go up to the 10 mark right there. And the 11/16 mark is the 8th mark that is right past 5/8. Okay, so if you're going by eighths, you would go 10 and 5/8, and then 1/8 more is 11/16. Now the 6 and 16th one, we've got 6 inches and 11/16. That one is also just past that 5/8. It's a 1/8 past the 5/8. So anyhow, I don't know if you're like me. Hopefully you're not, and you're much more managed with your math skills, but I am not. I'm going to use for my covers. This is going to be the inside lining, and then for the outside lining, we are going to do a simple 11/7. So let's start with the 11/7. That's much simpler. I saved my 2 favorite sheets because I want my cover. Let's think about this. My cover is going to have DSP on the inside of it. So most of what's showing is just this outside part. So I want the sheet that I like the best to be on the outside of this. So I'm going to use this one, this side. And I believe I am going to, let's think about how I want to use this sheet. If I want to use it going this direction, Or if I want to just use the bottom of it, and then I can save this for some of the inside, I might do that because I am going to have my big sentiment covering the front. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this sheet. I'm going to use the bottom of it. We're going to cut this 11 by 7. Okay? So get out your cutting board. You'll need to pull out the arm. And we want the 11 to be going across this way. So I am going to cut my 7 inches first, right here. Okay, so 7 by 11. 7-11. That should be pretty easy to remember. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Who remembers all the little jingles like I do? Now we're going to score it. We're going to score it on this long side at 5 1/16. Okay, so 5 and the 16th mark then, 1/16 is just the mark right afterwards. Okay, so 5 1/16, and then 5, and don't push too hard. This is DSP, so, you know, it will have issues if you press too hard on it. And then 5 15/16. So the little 1/8 mark just before the 6 inch. Okay, so let's see how that worked. Now because we're going to have another layer of this, I'm not doing cardstock. If I was not going to put a liner on it, I would want to use cardstock because that would be a lot firmer. Okay, so now this is the inside of our accordion file, is what it's actually called. And this is going to hold 4 by 6 inch cards. So it will hold big enough cards for you. All right, now the next one is the 10 11/16 by 6 11/16. Okay. And 6, I don't think that, no, we don't have, that's not gonna, I'm gonna save this, so we'll be using that at another point in time, maybe later today, we'll see. Well, I can't use it for my lining, and I kind of wanted to use, I want some of that blue on it, so I think we'll use this top part on this one, and we're gonna go 6 11/16. Okay, so remember what I said, 6 11/16. You find your 5/8 mark, and it's going to be your 1/8 mark right after that. Okay, so 5/8, and then your 1/8 right after will be your 11/16. So we're going to 6, and then I'm going to my 5/8. And then I'm going to just that 1/8 mark right after that. That is 11/16. I know it sounds complicated when you're, you know, brain dead. That's kind of the way it is. And I want to keep this blue, so we'll cut this side off. And this side is 10 11/16. So we're doing the same thing. I'm going to my 10-inch mark. Then I'm going to go up to my 5/8 mark, and then I'm going to just go 1/8 more. And then that, let's get out of there. Now we are at 11/16. So 6 by 11/16, and then we're going to score this edge. Okay, we're going to score it at 4 15/16. So right close to the 5-inch mark, 1/8 off of that. Okay, 4 15/16, and then 5 13/16. This is where my handy dandy ruler comes in, so I can remember where is 13/16. That one is, oh boy, that one's just short of your, or just past. Oh, I'm going in the wrong direction. It's just 1/8 after your 3/4 mark. Okay. 5, and we'll go to the 3/4 mark, and then we go 1/8 past that and score. That is 5 13/16. Now, if you have a cutting machine and you have projects that you cut out with it, like this, and you want to make those with your team or group, you really need to convert the dimensions to ones that people can actually use. So generally, I'll size these down or up. But in this case, I've got like lots of pockets and all, and it's just not gonna, it is not gonna be conducive to sizing up. All right, oops, I bent it the wrong way because I want it to go this way. Okay, so this is the inside lining. I'm not gonna glue anything together yet. I'm gonna just check in it to make sure it's fitting properly. Okay, it looks really good. All right, I'm gonna set my papers aside here on the side and remind everybody, because I kind of blew by it really fast. Again, we are gonna almost to our bonus days. So in July 6th through the month of July, for every $50 you spend, Stampin' Up! Will send you a $5 coupon in your email that you will be able to spend on any Stampin' Up! Products that you want in August. And for us demonstrators, you know, in August we have a new catalog that's going to be coming up, and we might, is our pre-order in August? I'm not really 100% sure because I get all mixed up. I think it is. I think we'll have a pre-order in August, so we could probably use those coupons then. All right, I think I've already made my pockets. I made almost all of them. You're going to want at least 3 of these little pockets. So I didn't make all of them, so you can see how to make it. Where's my dimensions? There they are. Okay, so we're going to do 7.5 by 4 inches for pockets. Now the pockets are going to be sealed on the sides, so we're going to score the sides, but we are not scoring the bottoms because these are going to fit in like this right against this bottom, so you're going to be able to use that entire 4 inches, and then they're going to stick up a little bit, but as you can see, you're still going to be able to get your 4 1/4 and even 4.5 inch, you know, big. You're going to be able to get your larger card, not your giant 5x7s. You'd have to size up to get 5x7 cards in here, but you'll be able to get 4x6 cards in here without any problem. So let's see what paper I want. If I'm using this paper, I've already got 2 pockets made. Let's see what other one I want to do. I think that would be good. Let's do this one. All right, so you're going to want to start, at least do 3, and you might want to do 4 pockets, but at least do 3. So that means, oh, I need 2. Let me grab the other sheet. I think I've got another one at the ready. So you'll need 2 sheets to be able to make your pocket, or 1 big 12 by 12 sheet. So we're going to cut our 2 pockets for 1 pocket, or 2 sides for 1 pocket, 7.5 by 4. Okay, so 7.5. I'm going to cut that side off. Actually, it's not going to matter because the ends, it's going to be scored anyway. So 7.5. Double checking. By 4. And then we're going to score each end 1 centimeter. Why did I do it centimeters? I think because the 16th and 18th and all that's getting like tiresome. So we're just going with the centimeter side here. 1 centimeter. Now you got centimeters right at the top of your board, so it's actually not at all hard to switch from your imperial to whatever measurement system you're on, you know. 1 centimeter, it's not hard. So we're doing 1 centimeter on each side, and then that is going to get, that's our score line, and then we can tuck that in. And the reason we're going to do this on both pockets, and that way there's going to be room for expansion in that little pocket, so you can actually get your cards in there, which is a nice thing. 7.5 by 4. We do another one. 7.5 by 4. I went down to the park already today and had a glorious bike ride. It was really nice. Not a ton of people out. I think they're kind of exhausted from going out. A lot of us all made sure that we got out into the yard. I mean, into the park before the heat hit. Now the heat's kind of subsided. It's nice now. Okay, so I did 7.5. Now I'm doing the 4-inch side. Okay, and then we're just scoring it at 1 centimeter on each end of that little pocket, 1 centimeter. And then I'm going to fold them and we're going to glue that together. But it was so quiet and nice. I didn't meet a whole lot of people. There were a few, but not very many. It was so, I'm sure each one of us was thinking, oh man, this is so nice. Nice to be out here early enough. It was cool. Very nice. It was quiet except for one spot where I went just before I got over the little bridge. There's a little bridge and it sounded almost like machinery. I was like, what? Is something coming up behind me? And it was bullfrog. It was a bullfrog. He was loud. I don't usually hear bullfrogs down there. So that was really funny because I'd kind of forgotten what they even sounded like. It was so loud. But that was pretty quiet. At the park itself by the lake, I did hear in the distance a bullfrog down there too. So do they only croak loudly during certain parts of the year? I'm not really sure about that. It's been not as quiet in our yard as it normally is. We, always keep bird feeders going. And we have had a plague of grackles. And Jeff looked it up to see what a group of grackles is called. And that's exactly what they are called. And they kind of are like that. They're fine when they're all individual grackles. They're not that big a deal. They're kind of pretty. Iridescent heads. They're all black, but it's iridescent. And so it's in the light, it looks, you can see turquoise in that black. And they're actually quite pretty birds. They're not bad, but they have this loud bark chirp kind of thing that's annoying when you get 30 and 40 of them. I mean, every time I looked out there they were all over all the feeders. Jeff said, yeah, I scared them away a few times because they scare away our cardinals. And anyway, that was annoying. And then we kept having all these squirrels too. So we have 3 pockets, and that's what you're gonna want. You're gonna want 3. I'm gonna put my pockets all together here. And I'm gonna use a punch. This is an oldie, 1 1/4. Now I'm gonna tell you that we do have, they're not in the catalog, but available now. They weren't available for a while, but they are now. Our 2-inch and our 1 3/4-inch punches are available now. And that would work, but I think that'll be a little bit big. I just want this little opening right here. So I grabbed out my little one. In fact, I know this is in the center, so I'm gonna just use this as my guide. But you wanna just get it kind of in the center, but basically, if they're all the same, it's not gonna really matter whether it's perfectly centered or not. Okay, so right there, I'm gonna slip that out, get that back in there, and I don't know if I can do all of those in one go. I really can't. Okay, I gave it a good try. I can at least see where it is, so we'll just do each one individually. So there's that one, and we'll get this one that I kind of started, because I can see where I did it, sorta, right there. Okay, let's see if it's close. It's pretty close. It's off a little bit, of course. And then this one. So if you want to do it, perfectly, you can, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Okay, there we go. That's pretty close. That one I could just go down just a tiny bit more maybe. And then it'll be a little less obvious that it's off a bit. A little less obvious. Pretty close. All right. So those are my little pockets. Again, you want at least 3 of them, but you could do 4. And I'm going to leave it at 3 just for us to get our projects done. So that's the pocket. And then now we're going to do, oops, There's that pocket. Oh, we have to do the little accordion spine thing. Okay, so the accordion spine is going to be 7.5 by 4, and then we're going to score it 1/2 inch across all the way, and we actually need 2 of these for each organizer. Okay, so now since this is a piece that's hidden, it's going to be down there in your in the spine holding everything. So you kind of want it to match these little pockets, but it isn't going to be shown. So this is the time to get out the ugliest paper that you have, whichever one you think is the ugliest, that you dislike the most. Aren't I terrible? And use it. I actually kind of like the writing. I do use things like that on my cards, sort of those, you know, shabby chic things. And this is kind of cool. So I think I might not want to use that one. Let's look at this one. Yeah, I think this one's going to do quite nicely. And I actually have a sheet already here. So let's just do this partial sheet. And so we want 7.5 inches. Let's see how many inches I've got this direction. Do I have 8? Oh, I do. So I can get 2 right here. So we will go 7.5 inches right like this. And then cut it at 4 inches. And then we're going to score both of these all along. So I've got 2 of those, 7.5 by 4. We're going to score that at 1/2 inch all the way across, top to bottom. So you're just going to start at your 1/2 inch mark, score, go to the 1 inch mark, score, 1.5 inch mark, score, and so on. Okay, I'm not going to tell you every 1/2 inch number because by now you're going crazy, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And the other beautiful thing about the accordion deal is that you don't have to be like super exact. If I'm off just by a tiny, tiny bit, it's probably not going to matter too much. You'll be able to make it work. Okay, so I'm almost done. I'm at 5 and 5.5. So it is called a plague of grackles for a reason, because when there's only a few of them, they're not that big a deal, but you get 20 of them out there, and it's really loud with all of that chirpy, barky thing going on. It's like super loud and annoying. Okay, that's it. So I told Jeff yesterday, I think they've about eaten all of the seed out of our 4 feeders that we have out there. I think they've probably eaten all of it, or just about. And if not them, the squirrels have. Oh, the squirrels are so funny. We only had like 1 or 2, but then they told all their friends that there's seed to be had, and they were just eating it all. So I got another baffle, we got another hook, moved it because they were jumping out. They were just like going to the ends of a branch that I didn't think would support their weight. And dropping from that branch, clunk, right onto the feeder. So I had to move one, and I gave them 1 feeder, 1 big giant feeder. That wasn't enough. They kept, they'd in one day eat all of the seed out of that 1 feeder, because we had like, I think 6 squirrels in the yard at one point when I counted. And they were really comical getting to the other seeds. So I fixed their little red wagon. I thought, fine, if you're going to be such pigs, then you get no seed anymore. I'll give you the 1. So I left the 1 under the tree that they could drop to, because I figured that was actually at least a little bit of ingenuity and work for them to do. Not all of them could do it either. Only some of the squirrels could do it. It took some dexterity. And they ate it up all super fast. And then all the grackles came too. Okay, so since this is an accordion thing, what you are going to need to do is mountain and valley fold. Now, the reason there's 2 of these is you're going to need it to go like this across. I think that's why there's 2, because why would we have 2 otherwise? I haven't actually assembled this, I guess, to know why I have 2, because I could have easily cut Why would we do it that way? I think they must have done that so that you would have some extra reinforcement here on this accordion fold. Because that wouldn't make sense otherwise. I'm going to set this aside for a minute because we have some other pieces and I want to make sure that I'm correct about that before going on. Because we do have this cute little pocket. All right, now this is a little paper pad holder. And the little paper pad holder is going to go on one side. And then we're also going to do a little pocket cover. This little cover is just an extra little cover that's going to go on this other side, okay? So you end up with all kinds of really fancy, nifty deals. All right, so because of that, though, we need to decide what we're going to do with my... Oh, let me go grab the piece I threw down over here because I like it. This one's going to go be one of these pockets that's going to show. Let's see if this one's going to be too wide, so I can use it on this one. All right, so we're going to cut this 7 5/8 by 4 5/8. So 7 5/8. Okay. And by 4 5/8. And then we are going to score the short side at 1 1/2. Okay, score the short side at 1 1/2 and 3 1/2. And that doesn't seem right. And 4 inches. That isn't right because I actually don't want all these score lines all the way through. We aren't going to fold all of that, I don't think. But anyway, we'll worry about that when we get to it. I think I did it backwards. I think this is the top, this is the bottom. No, it isn't. We're gonna use a fancy die. You can see this one's got a nice edge to it, and we're gonna use a fancy die to cut one of these sides. Okay, and so we're gonna cut the side with the fancy die is going to be the side that we scored last on that top side. All right, now we're going to score the long side. Long side gets scored at 7/8. Okay, 7/8. And 1 3/8. Okay, 1 3/8. And then 6 5/16. Okay, so our 5/16 mark is the 8th mark right after your 1/4. So we're going to go to 6 and the 1/4. I can't see it on my board very well because of it. That is right in our spine. So I'm going to have to actually use my handy dandy thing to get it to see where in the world. 6 and let's see here. Oh no, let's do it this way so I can see it. 6 and what did I say? 5/16. Okay, so 6 and 5/16 is there. So it's actually right there. It's really close to where I marked. I took my silver pen and marked where the half mark is. I think that's the half mark really is like right in the spine of that. So these measurements are always difficult to do. Okay, so go to your 6 1/4, and then you're gonna go just to the 16th mark after it, and you're gonna score. And then the last one's easy, 6 3/4. Right there. Hey, Michelle, that is awesome to see you. Oh, that is exciting news. Oh, nice, Michelle. Good for you. It says see more. I can't see more of your comment. There it is. Let me see. Oh, nice. That is awesome, Michelle. I am so happy for you. That is great news. All right, so we've got 6 3/4. So you end up with a fold here like this. Okay, and another fold like right here. And then I'm scoring. I'm not actually, you know, burnishing it. I'm just using my nail. We're going to cut away some of this on the side. So I just want to make sure you see where we're doing it. But we're still going to die cut this top. So I don't want to get too carried away. All right. So this is the bottom. And this is the top where you've got this big piece, because we're gonna die cut that. So we have a nice. Oh, you got your team projects. Excellent. So anybody who wants to think about joining our team, we have got some really cool projects all planned. I'm excited about them. You guys are going to have so much fun with them. All right. So you got your team projects, and I think I included a list of whatever things you'll need, sort of, because just a real basic list. Of what you need to have. And anytime a stamp set is written on there, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to use that particular one, because sometimes things are just happens to be the stamp set I'm going to use, or it just seemed like maybe the easiest one to make it look really cool. All right, so we're going to get in your catalog, you have a die set you can buy called Basic Borders. I actually have them, the numbers of these. Here's the Good Feeling stamp set number. It's $24. This Basic Borders has all of these borders. That one's $29. This is the number. And I might use our Delightful Doily. Delightful Doily is actually kind of oh man, it's a really special one. And I don't think a lot of people are using that. Now this pocket is actually going to fold at one point here. I didn't put that fold line in, but we are going to we're going to fold it down if I like it. I don't know that I am gonna. You want your DSP to match this side really well if you're going to fold it down. So I don't think I'm actually going to fold it down. So I think I'm going to just use my stitched scallop die, and I'm going to cut off, how much do I want to cut off of this? Just a little bit. I'm going to move it all the way up here. We don't need a lot off. And I just need it to go in between. Oops, I've got 2 plates here. That's why my magnet's not grabbing on. There's your fold line, so you just need it to be in between your fold line. Okay. And then you can cut away the rest when we get going. You do kind of want it to stay pretty straight. If it's not staying down with your magnet platform, you can just tape it to make sure it's not moving around. Now, I should have probably done it the other way, because look at this. I cut it the wrong side. But since I didn't, I am going to just glue it on here. Because I don't want it to be any shorter than that. It looks like my edge isn't perfect, perfectly aligned anyway. So that's actually going to help straighten out my piece anyhow, because I flubbed it. So, you just make do. You have these little mistakes, and you can just make it work. When I was riding my bike to the park, I had a runner run past me. That's how slow I go on the bike. Really slow. I found that I see fewer people if I go really slow. Because the ones who are, walking at a pretty brisk pace, if they're very far ahead of me, they will get through the park before I even get there. And the bicyclists are all going to pass me no matter what, because even if I was riding along pretty fast, they would pass me. Now, I do want to cut this straight, so I'm going to line up my little scallops. It's pretty close. This is going to be kind of tricky because I did get it pretty close. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to use my little lines to get my scallop to, well, that's 1.5. Oh boy. You see where I am on my lines. Okay, there we go. Now, my fingers always stick to the paper, so just getting it to lay down and laying the track down, that's always a little tricky. Okay, now see, it didn't really, I'm going to have to, I didn't even do anything. I am going to have to get out our little teeny tiny mini. This saves my bacon so many times. It's a little tricky. I took off the guide, or the guard. So I do have to be careful not to snip myself. And this tiny edge is so tiny. You're probably like thinking she's gonna kill herself there, but no. We're getting it pretty straight. It still looks a bit crooked. So let's just try to straighten it out a little bit. There we go. That's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to get any better than that. And then I can glue this on here. But I'm going to glue that on later, okay? I mean, I'll get to it in here in a minute. But right now I want to cut out all of our little corners so you know how we're assembling all of this. When I got to the park and I sat on the bench for a while, just enjoying all the peace and quiet, and there was a guy across the lake from me who, you don't use your tiny little trimmer. I don't all that often, but like I just did there, it actually works really good when you just have this tiny, tiny little edge to do. But yeah, those little tiny things, sometimes those are like impulse purchases, aren't they? I don't think you end up using them all that much. All right, so take your scissors. You're going to cut off this little corner. So this is kind of what your pocket is going to look like. Obviously, my top here, it looks a little different. But we're going to cut all the way to this, the furthest fold that you did here, score line, and this one here. We're going to just cut those off. Okay, on that side, and again on this side. So we're going past a fold line on this side, and past the one on this one too. There was a guy sitting across the lake, and he had like the geese down around his feet. Not a lot, just like a couple of them, but there were a ton in the water right there. Make sure I did that right. Okay, and it looks like I need to come to this second. We've got 2 fold lines here. I'm just gonna straighten this out right here where that fold line is. Okay. And where this fold line is. I just need, actually, is it that one or is it that one? It's the second one I need it to be clipped to. Okay, so we've got 2, and I want to just straighten this out to where the second fold line is. Okay. Let's do that on this. No, I did do it to the second fold line. Okay, so now I can glue my little top on so it looks a little bit nicer now that I know where it's going. I thought, was he feeding the geese? Why are they all around his feet? It was really interesting. Okay, so now I can see where my trim is going to be. I'm going to just take my scissors and snip. And I'm going to leave this one for now and put my trim on here. I think I might use my grid paper right now just to make sure that I'm squared up. On my, using these lines just to make sure my little pocket's pretty squared up there. And then I'm gonna cut this bit right here. I'm gonna cut that off. Okay, so now I have a nice little edge that I should have just die cut correctly, and then I wouldn't have been having to do all of this little bit of gluing, but that's okay, it still works. So here's our little pocket. You can see how it's gonna glue and assemble and tape on. You're gonna wanna assemble it here and here, and then we'll stick it on the lining when we get to it, but not ready for that yet. I'm gonna tuck that one away because we're done with that one. We have another one. Michelle, I think we did this organizer for not last year's team meeting, but I think we had a team meeting a couple of years ago that we did it. The Beside Me stamp set, I love it. In fact, I am using that with our bike riding. Oh, what's that one called? It's called, I have it right here by me because it's Fun on Wheels. I'm going to use it with that Fun on Wheels. That is going to be, and it's turning out really nice. I was thinking maybe I shouldn't have bought the bike one. But now I'm real glad I did because I'm finding use with it for many things. Michelle, does this paper look familiar? Michelle gave me a whole bunch of paper, and I made my templates from some of the paper I used to do my templates for stuff like this. All right, so 7 1/4 by 6 5/8. That's the next piece that we need. So we need a pretty good sized piece of cardstock. Oh, you ordered another one? Oh, Michelle, that's such a cute stamp set. Michelle, you can return them, you know. Instead of sending it to me, because that's gonna cost you shipping and handling just to even send it to me. So then, you know, go online to Stampin' Up. They have a little tab for returns, and you can click on that and download and print out that return form, and then just mail it in a cheap little mailer. You know, I know it's annoying, but on the other hand, then you could at least order another stamp set. I would appreciate it, you know, but still, you could use it as giveaways yourself, or return it. I've had to do it. You just bite the bullet and return it. Because I'm thinking, okay, so how much is the return? Is it really worth it? I know. I think this last year is the first time. How many years have I been doing this? 5 years? I think it's the first time I've not double ordered something. First time. All right, so this paper, yes, this is going to work quite nicely with this, I believe, because I think this color, I've got a pocket with it already. And I think it's going to match pretty well with everything. So maybe I want to do, oh no, I don't want to use that one, no. Yeah, I think I'll use this one. All right, so 7 1/4 by 6 5/8. Okay, 7 1/4. Okay, now which side am I going to? Here's the deal. This has got so much directionality. I don't really want my pocket to have that kind of thing happening. But I think I'm stuck because I think all of the papers I've got left all have that. I think I've used up enough of everything else, and I'm down to the end here. Okay, so I am going to have to use it. Now I suppose I could just use a plain old piece of cardstock instead of this, but the thing about the DSP is it's thin enough. It makes a really nice organizer. If you use your cardstock, your whole thing starts to get really bulky. And so I actually really like DSP for this sort of a project. So 7 1/4, we'll go with it on this side. So the long side's going with all of these little folds of torn paper. 7 1/4 by 6 5/8. 6 5/8. All right, now we're going to score the long side only. Okay, so scoring the long side. Oh, they're good. I thought I lost my my score blade. 1 7/8. Okay, so score 1 7/8 and 5 15/16. Yes, you heard correctly. 1/8 less than the 6. So 5 15/16 and 6 1/4, which you can just barely see right there before you get to the little brown edge. And so we've got a couple of really small little folds here. Where did they go? That seems too small. Is that correct? I think instead of it being 6 1/4, it should not be 6 1/4. It should be more like 6 1/2. I think it should be 6 1/2. Yeah, that looks better. That's going to give you a half inch, a little less, but just about 1/2 inch pocket, and that's what I should have had there. Okay, so now this side, though, we want to use that same die to cut. This time, though, I'm going to make sure I cut it with the edge going the right way, because I definitely don't want this folding over. That will not look good at all. Okay, so this says it's my pocket cover. I don't even get that, but we'll figure it out when we get to it. All right, so pocket cover. Oh, that just, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this pocket cover is. Because there's no folds on this side. Okay, I'm perplexed. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Let's cut it out with the die for the top. And see, I think the guy in the park with the geese, he looked like a goose whisperer, because he was, they were like all around his little feet. It's like he was young, so it just seemed sort of odd. Then I was watching that for about 5 minutes and thought, that's just really interesting. Okay, so I want the cut line to be at the top, not at the bottom like I did last time, and the stitching line there. And I actually want to see how this isn't the right dimension. Oh, it goes this, oh my goodness, I scored it the wrong way. That's why it acted up. I'm gonna have to score it the other way. Oh boy, let's just start over again with another piece. I'm glad I noticed before I actually got too far with it. All right, I'm gonna have to cut this one. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to have to. And so we want to do it again, 7 1/4. If you're like me and you messed it up. The 6 5/8 is actually my top. I thought it was the 7 1/4. So we're going to go 7 1/4 this way, this time. 7 1/4, and then 6 5/8. Right there. Okay, and we're scoring the long side, though, which is this way. Okay, 1 7/8. 1 7/8. And 5 15/16. Which is just that 1/8 short of 6. And then I've got written down 6 1/4, but we're actually going to go up to 6 and a half. Okay. Now let's see if that's correct. Ha ha ha, it is. Very good. All right, so this time I got it right. I could have this side on it. Do I want that side on it? Let's look at all of these little pockets and see how this is going to fit. So this is going to be a pocket somewhere. I have no idea. It must be a folding pocket that is in the accordion fold. But in that case, it's going to have a backing. And I don't think I have a backing to it. That's strange. Very strange. So I might need to cut a backing piece. Where's the fold? There it is. Okay, right there. Maybe I'm supposed to cut two of these? I don't think so, because that wouldn't make sense either. Let's, where's the piece that I just abandoned? Let's see if I can use this as a backing one. If I need to, I can. So we'll cut this one that's sort of my scrap now at 6 5/8 so that I have a backing piece for this. You know, just in case I need one. Okay, we'll sort of let you hang out on the side piece because I don't really know what I'm doing with you. All right, so this is my bottom. Well, of my pocket. And so since this is the top, I need to die cut this. Now you can see my die isn't quite that long, so I am gonna need to, you know, do it in two goes on my cutting machine. So when the guy got up to walk away, though, it looked like maybe the geese weren't like right at his feet, but they did seem so originally. Now this piece is wide enough that you're going to have to fold this up to there. It's barely going to fit on here. Wow. We're going to just make it work. I'm going to have to bend my die so that it grabs on. It's not going to cooperate with me here. This is a problem. I don't have to use the die. I do have fancy scissors, and I think that's what I'm going to have to resort to because I might have a big die, but I'm not really sure that I do. So we're going to just resort to using my fancy scissors. I don't usually use these because they actually don't cut all that nice. Oops, I'm cutting it the wrong way, just like I did before. What a ding-dong. We're going to have a very short pocket. All right. Catherine, what's your deal? Okay, since I did that, we're going to just cut it straight. Okay. And do it the other way. No. This way. Yes, no, that doesn't do it either. I need it to be flip. Like this. Haha. There we go. Okay, but I kind of need it to, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. All right, so it's going to end up having a much shorter top than I would have liked. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's fairly straight. It's another thing I don't like about those scissors is I never really cut things straight enough. And you can fix it easier when it's a die than the scissors. Okay, so that is my pocket, but how does that work? I guess if you fold it like that. There we go, that's it. This is a pocket, I get you now. Oh, nothing like knowing what you're doing. I still think we're gonna need this though for a backing. But this will be the side that shows. So I'll fold it backwards like this. And glue that. And then I can glue that. Okay, so we'll think about that. I'm putting that one aside. I'm not really sure about you. We have one more piece to cut out. Oh, two more pieces. I lied, because we do need a binding thing to kind of keep it all together. But this is the big outside. This is the outside. So it actually has like a few pages. So we're going to cut two of these to make sure it's nice and sturdy. They're 6.5 by 7 3/4. I'm going to put my die away because I don't think I need that anymore. All right. Pocket cover. That's what I did. Good. Did that one. All right. 7.5. Now, I cut my covers already from paper I really liked, so I'm stuck with this for my cover. I didn't really want to use it, but I'm going to have to. Oh, well. 6.5. Make sure it's going the way I want it. Okay, 6.5. Actually, I think I want it this way. 6.5 by 7 3/4. Okay, 7 3/4. That doesn't seem big enough, but it's not, because look at what I'm supposed to be getting. Oh, you cut two. I see. Why are they doing that? Because I can do the whole thing in one piece. I think I did this just in case you were going to need to cut it, you know, and you didn't have 12 inches. Because actually this is a 12-inch piece. I'm going to recut it from this piece, 12 inches. If you were using your 8.5 by 11, you would need these dimensions, 6.5 by 7 3/4. Do two of them and glue the spines together. But no, I am not going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and just cut this like this. Let's see what this ends up being. It should be 7 3/4. Okay, so take your 12-inch piece of paper. It's going the way I want it. 7 3/4. Okay. And then I need to just trim this tiny, tiny bit off of the edge over here. Looks like we're going to trim it. I'm going to trim off. Oh my, about 1/4 of an inch, just barely maybe. About 1/4 off. And then we're going to score it. It looks like we're scoring it. Hmm. 1 centimeter, is that correct? It is. Yes, 1 centimeter. So we're going to do 1 centimeter on each end. So one here. Let's find my 1 centimeter mark right there. Score and then flip it. Score another 1 centimeter. And then for the book binding part, no, I don't have it scored. I don't have my score marks because I was expecting to be gluing two pieces together. I don't know why I thought that. You know, my brain not working or what? It wasn't. It wasn't working when I was doing this. So let me find my score marks. Like this. So we're going to score at 5.5 and 6.5. Okay, so 5.5 and then 6.5. All right, and so now we have our outer covers. All right. Oh, I have 1 centimeter folds on all of them. So another 1 centimeter on this side, on all 4 sides. We're gonna score 1 centimeter. Make sure it's lined up really good so you're, especially if you folded it like I have already. It's easy to get that. If you're not sure, you can use your scoreboard. It's a little easier on the scoreboard, I think, to make sure everything's lined up right. Okay, so 1 centimeter on all of the lines. And now this is a lining. All right, I think we've got everything cut out and we're ready to assemble. It actually is going to go together really quickly once you have everything all cut out. It's just the cutting out that's taking time with this project. And when you're assembling like a whole bunch of them, it actually doesn't take that much time. Now, see what I have left? It is so sweet to see this pile of paper disappearing on me. And I'm left with the parts of the paper that I like. I'm going to be able to use my little bits of scrap. Like this one, I just tore like right along the torn edge. And if you have this paper, you can do that. A way to use some of it if you're not thrilled with this. For this belly band, I don't know. I'll think about that after we're done. What part of the paper we're going to actually be using of that. All right, so now we've got all of these little score lines. Let me get rid of those scissors. I don't need those. And we're going to just take where this little fold line is. We've got these little corners to snip. Okay, so right here you've got this little tiny bit. We're going to just go snip here and snip here. From that fold to the other fold. We're just going to snip those off. And then they should fold down pretty nicely. Let's see. Without having to actually cut any further lines. So fold in your long ones first, and then these second ones after you've snipped, and then you're going to have a nice little seamed edge there. And with it folded, you're going to want to burnish that. Ta-da! That's my little wind chime I have by my scissors thing. I have most of my wind chimes are all tied up because there's actually a light breeze here constantly, which is so beautiful in the summer. Feels good, and it actually isn't bad in the winter either. But it's noisy with my wind chimes out that I kept. Isn't that funny? For a place that actually doesn't have wind, I wouldn't call this a windy place. Not like the Tri-Cities. I had wind chimes in the Tri-Cities and I had them up, and they didn't bother me, or as far as I know, our neighbors. But here I can't have them out. They're just constantly going, and it's annoying to me. So I tied them all up. I brought one little tiny one in, the one you just heard, so that I hear them once in a while. Okay. All right, so we have this piece is the next largest one, this side to be showing. So you could tuck it in, but I don't think I'd recommend that. We're going to glue these ends down, and then I'm going to put them. I actually folded it the wrong way. I want it to go like this, because I thought this was the cover. And there we go. That's going to go like that. So this is ending up being my cover, which I'm actually not that happy about. I really preferred this for my cover. I could just do it, make it my cover, because it's about the same size anyway, right? It is. So I'm going to just make this my cover. And then this is going to be my inside. Actually, it looks like it's supposed to be that way. That is so weird. If you were doing cardstock instead of DSP, you would not need this piece at all, because otherwise you would just end up with way too much thickness. Even so, I think this is going to be awkward glued, but we're going to try it out and see. I'm going to use my own little brand of specialty glue on the side to make sure that this glues properly, because I'm not sure that it will otherwise. You know, I already told you about bonus days that's coming up, but I want to remind you again about free shipping. On June 21, we have free shipping again, which is really unusual. Stampin' Up! Doesn't usually do, I think in the past I've experienced that, you know, we had free shipping one time, but not 2 times. So, that's a pretty sweet deal. You'll want to take advantage of it. All right, so I'm going to put that right on top of this. Like that. Make sure it's all lined up nicely. And what did I do with my bone folder? There it is. Okay, so I'm going to furnish all of that where I've got it all nicely glued down. Oops, there's an edge right there. All right, perfect. All right, very nice. And it's nice and thick. It feels pretty thick. It looks like it's folding pretty well. I think I have a fold line just off a tiny bit on one of these. So let's fix that. One looks like it didn't match up perfectly in one spot, because it's actually supposed to fold on the inside and not on the outside. So that's why it's kind of having an issue for me. And then I'm gonna fold that a little bit better right there. See, I'm sort of just making it work, because this piece that I did on the outside is actually supposed to be on the inside here, and I just didn't like the color as well, so I'm sort of making it work. This is what we do. This is why it's fun to do this. I suppose if you're an expert sewing or knitter, or, you know, any of these quilting people, you know, experts, you can do this in other mediums, but I have a really hard time doing it anywhere else. I can do it here with paper. All right, so that's better, much better. I'm gonna seal all of these now, and I can do my glue. I think it'll be just fine with glue. I just wanted to make sure I was really getting it where I wanted it before I actually glued it down. Okay, so we'll do the long ones first. Get that glued down really good, and then these sides in like that. All right. Now, if you go to my website, kathycrowscards.com, you will see that I do have classes scheduled. Those are going to be online. I don't know what's left, actually. I haven't really updated it for a long time. And now that it's summertime, there are some online items that are available that are new right now that are really cool. The sleigh ride one is coming up. I don't know if it's available yet, but it will be very soon. It's so cute. The paper with it is really nice. Oh, you're going to want that paper. It's special for Christmas. If you're thinking Christmas already, which many are, Okay, now isn't that nice? That's gonna be so much nicer. I don't know if I really wanna layer that all down. I'm going to, but I'm thinking this is gonna make it really super thick, but we're gonna just do it anyway. All right, I'm doing my specialty glue on the side so you can't see what I'm up to. I need something very, very movable with this part. All right, so we're gonna lay that right there. Oh boy, that looks so nice. Get our spine right where it needs to be. Good, good, it's looking pretty good. Looks like it's maybe off just a little. I'm not too surprised by that. We're gonna just put the paper where it should be, and then we'll work that spine in where it's gonna have to go, whether it likes it or not. Okay. Okay, if it looks like it's not cooperating, just make it work. Refold that spine to go where it needs to go. All right, so now it should be acting like a nice little folder for you. Get everything sealed up there nicely. I've got like a little gap going right there. I must have not put enough adhesive there. Let me fix that problem. Why are you acting up? Okay, there we go. Sweet. Okay, sweet, sweet, sweet. By having your edge, if you get it, you know, off like I did a little bit, my score line must have been, it still looks pretty good, even though I should probably trim that a tiny bit, but I'm not going to, it'll be fine. All right, that looks good, I like it. And now we need to get those accordion pieces out. Here they are. I still am perplexed by the double thing, so we're gonna mountain and valley fold and see what we can see. I'm still not sure why we had to cut 2 of these instead of 1. It doesn't make sense to me. Do you guys remember doing this project with me on our team meeting? Oh, Michelle's going back to work. I missed that. Sorry, Michelle. Yes, happy 4th of July to you too. We are going to have fun. We went to Marionville on Saturday night. Yeah, I think that was Saturday. We were going to go to Willard's 4th of July parade and their fireworks on Friday. That was going to be really fun. Jeff substitute teaches a lot there, so he probably would have seen kids and other teachers that he knows now, which is kind of neat. So it was disappointing that we couldn't do that. It just wasn't going to work out. You could do 1, but the thing is that you're going to want this to be, you know, all the way across. So I assume that the reason they are having us do 2 is just to really reinforce it. But I think if I were to do this project again, I would just cut it across as 1 piece rather than the 2. That just does not seem sensible to me, but, and I don't think they meant it this way, did they? No, because it's longer. So now, because now that I'm looking at it, it should have gone like this, and we cut in half there. Oh boy, I don't know. Whatever, we'll figure it out. There are quite a few pockets, so we do need quite a few folds, but this is seeming excessive. So we ended up not doing the 4th of July stuff in Willard on Friday because the whole day seemed to be threatening rain. It was like constantly not. Is it going to rain? No, it's not. Is it? Yes, no. And it did eventually rain quite a bit that day. And even though it was not raining, I think by the time the fireworks would have started, you know, it's at night and I'm already inside all tucked in watching TV. I didn't want to get up and go out, so we didn't. So Saturday, the beautiful thing about living here is that there's so many things you can do. We have so many options. It's very nice. All right, so just fit these together to see where you, oops, let's get it going the right direction so it's matching valley and whatever. You can see how to make it go. And then you can glue that bit that's going to go in between. We're going like right here with the glue, okay, on all of these little folds. And I'm kind of being sloppy with it because you can. You're going to want it on both sides. And if it oozes a little bit, it's okay if it oozes because I've got all the way over here to this other area, so it's gonna be fine. You're not gonna hurt anything. Okay, so put it in there, put this one here like that. Push it together till you want it to stop, and then we're gonna fold and hold until that's all nicely glued together. And now this is going to have this really nice sturdy reinforcement right here in the middle where I suppose you want it. I'm going to just trust the designer of this project to have done the right thing on that. Now see, this paper actually looks pretty good like this, doesn't it? It's matching up quite nicely. All right, so now all we need to do is glue one side to the one side of the folder and this one to the other. And you know, you want a fair amount of expansion, but on the other hand, we only have this much of a spine, so it can really only expand so much. This seems like a lot of folds for this. A lot more than I need. I think I did it wrong. I really do. I think we're gonna, let's fit our pockets and see how many we really need. The thing is that we have 3 pockets, and I've got room for like 8, it looks like here. We've got room for 1, 2, 3, really at least 3 more pockets. So I exaggerate, but I'm still. We can take our little, this folder, and we can tuck it in here. I'm going to want to put the backing to it. Remember I talked about the backing. Well, that's because I think my design was faulty here. I want this one to be, oh no, this one has to be on the outside. So I have it upside down. So we want this to be like this. I'm going to tape these together rather than glue them, I think. Let me see how that will work. I'm still not sure if I'm fitting this in right. Yeah, right like that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I guess I can glue it. It'll be fine. I'm going to glue these together. Kind of getting some of the glue on that, and then I'm gonna glue that like this. So with this pocket, it's said to have one piece, but it actually kind of needed two. And this is going to be my front. So I'm going to glue this little flap down. It's cute. I think I'm liking it. And then I can, this part, I think I'll just glue that part down like that. Stay down. This one will be open though. I don't want to close the sides because it is going to make it way too short to actually keep anything much in it. I'm going to fold that down. Instead of cutting it or anything, I really want to cover all of that blue. I don't want any of that blue showing. It really doesn't match anything too much in this with the colors that I chose. Okay. That is going to fit in there. Okay, so I'm still debating how much of this to keep because this still seems like I have way more pockets than I need. So I guess we could leave some of the expansion there, but I don't really think we want to. 1, 2, these are all different, okay. 3, and then one of these is gonna fit in there. So I actually am ending up with, well, I guess that'll be fine because we're going to fit that against one edge. That's going to fit in there. It looks like I am ending up with 2 extra. Oh, that's going to have a hard time fitting in there. I mean, like super hard. I'm going to cut off this much of my accordion. So I'm just not going to need that much. So I do think I think I'm going to have to reconfigure. Although when I cut the machine cut it out going this direction, but I really think it should have gone this direction, the 1/2 inches, and you only needed 1. So I'm going to need to change my instructions on this so that I don't have that issue anymore. Because I think I kind of vaguely remember doing this with my team and us struggling with this part of it as then, whenever I did it. It's like, I don't get that. Okay, so find that fold because you want this to be like right against that. And that does need to be glued in there really good before you mess with it too much. Now it can be floating, so it doesn't like have to be super tight against it, but it should be pretty close. Okay, so there's that side. And then I want this on the other side. And this one's gonna have to, I'm gonna have to fold this one pretty closed to get it to go. This is the part that's going to take all of the brunt of the, work of keeping everything in place. So you want to make sure that's in there really good. So I used a pretty good amount of glue. Obviously, it's not going to really matter if my glue oozes out underneath with this accordion thing. If some of the glue gets on that and helps hold it in, it's only going to be all for the better. So you can close it. And there is room for those, these pieces. And again, if you wanted it to be bigger, but with cards in here, you're not going to want any more than those 3 pockets, I'm thinking. with cards in here, it's going to be really filled. But this is a wonderful way to use up your DSB that you're not thrilled with, and it looks really pretty. Now that I've used it like this, I'm actually quite fond of it. Now that I'm done, you know, with it. Okay, so now you take your little pockets and just put some glue on there. Stick those in the accordion folds. We'll start here on this one. Getting the accordion folds to really stick to the cards kind of tricky. Come on, you can do it. Maybe if I do it like this. That fits in there better than my fat little finger. Okay, and then you can even go on the inside here. Kind of push against there a bit. Okay, so that one's in. I'm really liking it. And then this one's gonna go in here. I might even leave some room. If you do leave some room, oops, my camera, I'm sort of getting out of whack here. Then you can slide cards even in between. So I guess I could have left those in there, but that's okay. I want to make sure this is still going to fit in where I want it. Okay. Let's tuck you in there. All right. Let's see what I have missed here. We have got, at the end of this month, Jeff's brother and his wife are going to come and visit us, so that will be fun. And Jeff and I still want to get to Ha Ha Mini Tonka Park. Doesn't that sound like fun? Ha Ha Mini Tonka Park is has got really nice trails, so I hope Jeff's ready to do some hiking with me. He's not always the hiker. I'm the one that likes to do that. So we'll see. I told him there's hiking. He didn't look thrilled, but he didn't look disgusted about it either, so that's good. They do have pretty close to that park, or maybe it's in it. We haven't been there yet, so I don't really know. Merrimack Caves. We've been to so many caves, but this one's supposed to be really cool. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but Merrimack. Oh, it sounds really nice. Now, isn't this cute? I'm really liking this project. I think this is going to be fun. So give it a try. Just do it right. Not the way I did it. No, actually, I did do just fine. I just do think that this accordion fold's interesting, but I'm thinking having that stability there isn't a bad idea. I think that is fine, that's how it worked out. Oh, I just heard a big collapse of paper. I'm not sure what happened there, but since we've moved here, we have acquired a bigger vocabulary of certain words because Jeff and I are reading Ginny Gordon books. They've been very fun. And I probably already mentioned this to you last week, but we've added a word, the plague of grackles. We added not from that book, but just from having a plague of grackles. They really are a plague, and they are gone. So when I realized they're just eating all the seed out of the feeder anyway, I said to Jeff, I'm just not going to put any seed out for a while. I kind of remember this happened last year, and I am going to just let the seed go out for now, and then I'll fill it again later and let the plague of grackles disappear, because they do. They go away. If there's no seed, they go find seed elsewhere. It just takes a while. So all the little cardinals, you'll have to find seed elsewhere for a while. And then the plague of grackles can go away. So it's a murder of crows and a plague of grackles. Okay, now there's this pocket. That's sort of just a pocket. If you want it to be closed, you're gonna need to seal the sides. I decided I'm not going to bother with that. And it's got an edge that I don't really need. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold it again where I actually, because I think it's supposed to actually fit in as a pocket on the side. I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna do that. I'd rather have another card holder here. So I'm gonna just do this and glue it in. Right there. Oops, I probably got that too near the edge. Oh well. This one's going to be a little bit bigger than the other ones. It's hard to get that to really stay on there. Stay on there. My hands are getting nice and sticky with glue. No. There we go. I'm just trying to push that spine and make sure that glue is tacked on there really good. Because it's hard to get it to really do it, this way. It doesn't really quite grab it good enough. You want to make sure that it's adhered really well there along that edge. Once the glue has dried, this is going to be super sturdy. Okay, but you need to make sure that everything's touching really good while it is adhering. It's still doing it. It's moist enough that that's taking a little time. Now I've got this little flap, and if I hadn't glued it down, I could have used it as a little flap to come over the side here, which would be cute, and I could have done that, but I didn't. Now here's this little pocket. This is still gonna go on one of these sides, so you just decide where you want it. We're gonna make it into a little box and then stick it in here, and then that is a little, here's a sticky note I've got on the side here, a little sticky note holder, okay? And it actually could be, if you're doing this as a gift for people with cards inside, it could be a really nice little gift card holder too. Put your little gift card in there, that would be nice. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue right here and here. And then we're gonna adhere these sides for the little box. Stay on there. And that side. Okay, where's my bone folder? It actually does a better job inside than my finger, giving me some pressure. All right. Now, I did have a fold line here. I'm not sure if I should have folded it down. I should have probably, but I'm not going to. I want it to actually be pretty fat to hold whatever I'm doing here. So I'm just not even using that fold line, and I'm ignoring it. I'm going to just glue this on here. I think it actually is going to do better having a lot of glue on the sides anyway. That's going to hold stuff on there really nicely. I'm going to stick this down here pretty far into the box and apply pressure on that, on the top and the bottom. I think I'm getting a lot of nice glue on my bone folder as well. All right, we are almost done. What a cute little box. This took a little bit of time, and I kind of knew that it would. Now see, that fits. If you start getting a lot of cards in there, it is going to puff up. It's going to puff up like this. So you do need a belly band, and you can use one of these if you want to. What have I got? I don't know if I've got anything. Probably a solid would look better with this than any of these, but this could probably do. This is a 12-inch, and it barely works. I don't think I would use a 12-inch necessarily. I think you might want to make it just a bit bigger, but that would work. I'm gonna cut that. I think I'm gonna cut this piece 2.5 inches. And then I'm gonna just use it like that to wrap it around. And I can already see it's just gonna be a bare fit. So I'm gonna just put a tiny bit of glue here on the edge. So that it's barely. I don't know if that's gonna really hold. To me, I don't think it will. I think you're gonna want something a bit more substantial. I think maybe even a ribbon tying it would look really good. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit for a minute. Is that the 2? That's not the 2 inches. This is the 2 inches, you ding dong. Let's do the 2 inches. Actually kind of want the 2 inches. 2.5 maybe. Maybe this is 2 inches. I don't know. All I know is my time is going and I need to finish here quickly for you. And I still want to stamp my little stamp. All right, there we go. Okay, so we're going to let that sit, and hopefully it will adhere really well while it's sitting. Okay, I'm just kind of flattening it out a little bit. I would like to de-sticky my hands, so I'm going to just grab a sheet of cardstock here, and we're going to stamp out with the good feelings. I thought a really good thing to do with this, sending a bunch of cards to people, would be the Sending Sunshine and Good Feelings Your Way. I mean, it's a beautiful font. It's a nice big stamp so that you do not have to do any decorating. We've got, for this color, that Berry Burst is the main color. So let me find Berry Burst. That's Rich Razzleberry. Where are you, Berry Burst? I know I have Berry Burst, but I'm having a hard time finding it. I know I have Berry Burst. I'm just not finding it. I've got Rosemary Merlot, Highland Heather. I know I have Berry Burst. Where are you? Wow. This is really amusing when I can never find anything. Gorgeous Spray. I've got all my old colors handy here. And Orchid Oasis. Blackberry Blip. Where are you? Berry Burst. I'm just not seeing it. Ah, right on top. Right on top, of course. Okay. So Berry Burst. I think this is Berry Burst. Let's see. I'm going to do a couple of those, but that does look like a pretty good match. I think I need to re-ink this pad. I'm going to do another one because I want to make sure I have a die that's going to fit really well around that. Now, isn't that pretty? Just all on its own. You don't need anything else. they really they nailed it with the font on that. You know, one of the other words that we are still not, we do not say y'all, because it's going to sound phony baloney coming from Jeff and I. We do not. We don't fit in. We're trying to, you know, we just really enjoy being here. Feel privileged to be allowed to live here. I don't want to come off like I'm mocking anyone. I'm afraid I might, unintentionally. Okay, so we want a nice big die, obviously, that's going to fit that one. And I really like the scalloped one. That would probably normally be what I would do. But radiating stitches is really nice. And it has a nice big frame to it. Actually, that's looking too big. I think this one might be too small. No, that might fit. It's very close. Let's get the scalloped one out and see. The decal dies are really nice. Where are you, scallops? Usually I have my scallops very, very handy. Ah, here they are. Stitched so sweet. I think it's gone. I'm sorry if it is. It's a cute one. There is another stitched scalloped thing, though, that I think is still available. But, yes, that one's perfect. So that's what we want to do. A stitched so sweet. And that one is the largest one. If I had one that was bigger, I would do it. And in Blackberry Bliss. Okay, are you going to fit? Yes. Very good. That right on it. Oh, I've already smudged it. Unfortunate. But a ribbon around this to tie it. It's going to look so, so cute. Okay. And I think so that it, you know, shows really nicely. You're going to want one of the ribbons that, I think we've got a good one that matches here. This is Lost Lagoon, I think it might be. Not exactly sure what this ribbon is, but I think it's soft, it's going to match, and you can tie it around like this. Okay, and then that way it can expand however much you want, depending on how many cards you get in there. It is going to expand. That was a sloppy bow. All right, and then this is going to go right on top. And actually, I think a fatter ribbon would look nice, but we'll leave it at that. And I think instead of dimensionals, I think I'm just going to use my tape. Okay, so I'm going to put some tape here. And here, and right on the ribbon as well. Just making sure I've got that. And then I'm going to make sure I get just a little bit more on my label itself, but I don't want it to go anywhere except for right on that belly band. And so it can slide on and off. So my belly band can slide on and off, which is great, but my ribbon can still untie so that the little holder can expand as you put in more and more cards. And I bet you I've got a card, not one that I am going to put in this kit, just I happen to be playing with the science stuff. So let's see how one of those will fit in here. I think you can put it in an envelope and it will still easily fit in there. See? You can get a whole bunch of cards in there. So that's going to be super, super fun and cute. Thank you so much for watching with me. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed it. Make sure you go to my Stampin' Up! Website and make your purchases. I will be happy to send stuff. You know, you're going to get a mini catalog very soon. And if you are one of my customers and you've ordered $50 or more, oops, I've got it going the wrong way. Here, let me try to that. There we go. I keep forgetting which side to put my camera on here. Okay, there we go. I think it'll handle it now. There we go. I'm back. I had my hand on the wrong side probably. Oh well. It's going to take me a while to get used to my camera being on the wrong side of my desk, but I think that's going to work out okay. Anyhow, you will get the mini catalog free. I'll send it to you if you have ordered $50 or more product from me. So this is a good time to place an order, and then you will have a chance to get that catalog. Depending on the size order, I will always send you other things. I'm happy to do it. It's a treat for me to be able to send cards to people, and if you order $100 or more, I'll send you some little beads. We have some really nice ones right now that are these ombre ones. Aren't those pretty? Lots of really good colors. You're going to really enjoy those. So anyhow, you have a great day, and I will see you next week. Have a happy 4th of July and a safe one. Enjoy it. Enjoy being in the land of the free, home of the brave. We're very grateful for all of the people that are keeping us that way. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.